like like live, or we're officially launched, that
Mhm.
your camera looks all clear, and can't do nothing. I gotta get like I buy like a nice webcam or something. But I mean, it's gonna look terrible. So
I think you look, clear. But at first, I felt like I wasn't, clear.
hmm
I felt like I was less than, clear.
right, yeah. So what where you said you're in Maryland, but originally when we talked, you said you was going for wine.
Yes. So, a friend of ours, a friend of the family's, um, so this wine, it's it's Dublin Winery.
Dublin
Don't
Winery.
Yeah, I don't know if they can see that.
Yeah, they can see it.
So yeah, it's in North Carolina. Well, it's in the Carolinas. It just says made in Carolinas. So they make this wine, and it's made from a muscadine grape, and we used to call it scuppernons. So these
Scuffling.
grapes, scuppernons, yeah. So these grapes grow down south, and literally we were children, and we would pick these grapes, and they're wild grapes, and the cluster of grapes would have like purple, green, um, that red color, you know, all on the same cluster. So if
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know any better, you would think, well, no, these are not ripe, or these are ripe, or whatever. But they're all ripe. It's like it's a wild grape. They don't grow here, because I guess the weather is too cold or whatnot. Tasting this wine, I when we went to my cousin's father's funeral up in New York, she had some, and I drank it, and I'm thinking to myself, this taste is familiar, but I couldn't figure out what the taste was. And sure enough, when she said muscadine, it just came all back to me. So it's like drinking a little bit of childhood. But they have
Mm-hmm.
all these flavors. They got the sangria, which is very popular, but they wouldn't mail it to us in New Jersey because of New Jersey laws and whatnot. We
Guess you
had to
can't
get some.
send alcohol to New Jersey or something like that.
You can, but for some reason, they couldn't send it to us.
Mm.
Now, I don't know if that's New Jersey period or what. Maybe somebody can kind of educate us, on that. But anyway, our friends came down from Maryland. Um, we could only order it through somebody if we had an address in Philadelphia, Maryland, um, someplace like that. I think we could have even gotten it in Delaware, but not in Jersey. So she ordered me a case of it. So I have my wine. So when I'm drinking it, it's like, it's the nostalgia of the
Nostalgia.
nostalgia. And I had some too, so
Yeah,
don't
you're a
judge
little loopy.
just a little bit, just a little bit. So
hmm
yeah, it's the nostalgia of, my childhood. So I feel like, it's just a childhood memory.
There you go. So it
Yeah.
was definitely worth the trip to Maryland for it.
Yeah. So you get, oh, and I had the Maryland crabs. Oh my God, they were so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in my happy place.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I feel like everyone's happy place is away from Jersey. So that was,
Just away from home, away from home. So I have this shirt on because I was eating the crabs, so you don't want to mess up your clothes. So the host gave me a shirt,
oh,
so it said good vibes. So
good vibes. No,
yeah,
well, that's that's the feeling we want to give off with this episode. So without further ado, hi mom.
yeah. Hi, son.
Hey family, welcome to another episode of Bonding with Mater and Sater, the first Black mother and son podcast.
Yes, I am Brooklyn Potts, aka Mater,
And,
James's mother.
and I'm James Eaton, aka Sater. Yeah, we got some things to get to today. Dang, we kind of messed up because it's like we started it off with good vibes, but unfortunately, we've had some very unfortunate incidents going on in this country. We're gonna start with the shootings that happened 2 weeks ago in Atlanta. I think this guy's name is Robert something Long. I really don't feel like looking it up, but his that's the name. That's the guy. He shot up a nail shop or something like that, and it looked to be like they targeted Asian women.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like it was. I thought it was all at one nail shop, but it was like a few places. Like he traveled and targeted people, and and killed
So
them.
it wasn't in like a specific town, like how they have the Chinatown and I guess maybe the different nail salons on that same strip, or
Um,
was it from town to town?
from my understanding, it was two separate places. One
Mhm.
one town on the outskirts of Atlanta, and then in Atlanta. I could be
Mm.
wrong, but I think that's what I've read and gathered. So it's looking to be a hate crime, and it's very unfortunate that Trump's rhetoric of the whole coronavirus and the blame he put on China for it coming here, which is obviously a falsehood, um, has galvanized his supporters or just would be terrorists or proud boys or just those people that are like in those groups that are like extremists and stuff like that to
Right,
attack Asian Americans and have hate for Asian Americans, even though it said China, but sort of racist. Anyone appearing from Asia is Chinese to them. So
right,
I don't even know if these people he killed were even Chinese. They just were Asian. So it was
right,
predominantly Asian women that were murdered. So my condolences to the families. Dave Chappelle, he had a joke, or he was saying that the good thing about the whole pandemic and the coronavirus is that it seemed that everyone was in the house, including the murderous whites, as he'd say, that go around just killing everyone, doing these mass shootings. So and it's
mhm,
so I guess there probably is data to support that there was less like mass shootings because people were inside. You know what I mean? But yeah. So unfortunately, since coronavirus is settling down and we're getting over Trump's presidency, that seems to be a more lasting effect on this country, Trump's presidency, than probably even coronavirus. Just his ideals and the power and the rhetoric and the ideology of what he was broadcasting to the world, and people
right,
and how people really like support and have these views. But another good thing too is that it exposed those people. So
right.
we know who these people are. They're not wolves in sheep's clothing anymore. So I guess that's a good thing, but it's still very unfortunate that this is happening, and there's just such a lack of humanity, in our country.
Yeah, and you know what? You don't even have to look for it. You can look right on your Facebook page and kind of see some of the people who, support, are supporters of Donald Trump that has his same, belief or, or the ideas that he have, you know, placed in so many people, heads. I don't know, just the rudeness and the hate and just the ugliness of, his everyday tone was just horrible.
Mm,
You know, I was thinking about the Asian women, well, not just the Asian, but the Asian community,
hmm.
with how I'm gonna, just believing that it came from China at first until you just kind of educated yourself or you just kind of, looked at the news further. It had me, I didn't really want to eat Chinese food. You know what I mean? Not that,
Yeah,
not that of the people, but just things do originate from this disease did originate from some place,
right.
and it did get out of hand. But to just blame people and then treat people differently,
Hmm.
because now if it's different if they put out some type of chemical warfare or something on us and release this horrible, thing, then then yeah. But so far it's just unwarranted that you know we target the Asian community.
Yeah, it's a
They have,
it's a real travesty. Obviously, I don't know if you've been seeing on online the Stop Asian Hate hashtag. Yeah, so it's a whole movement now, and I fully support it, but also fully support our own movement, just Black Lives Matter. You know,
let's not forget.
it's not not to forget as well. So I think
Right,
we need to just we need to support our movement, support their movement as well, but then vice versa. If we all come
right,
together, we can combat this hate that's going on in our country, and it's just so deep rooted within Black community because this is just a random shooting. We've been targeted to this, obviously since throughout history. Most recently, what the Dylan Roof situation that happened in I think was it Charleston or somewhere in Virginia, but the church shooting. So
yes,
it kind of like rings. It's eerie of that, but
right,
we have situations like that, but then also police shootings. You know what I mean?
right,
It's just
right,
like they can come lock this guy up that just killed a bunch of people, and meanwhile Jacob Blake is paralyzed because they decided to shoot him in the back, and he was being a good Samaritan. You know what I
right.
mean? So it's just we're fighting a real hard battle, but at the same time we don't
Yeah,
want to lose sight of Black Lives Matter, but also we do support the fight that the Asian community is going through right now with the Stop Asian Hate. So
right. And to your point, don't water, not saying to take the focus off of them, but don't
mhm,
water down our situation that
as
has
well,
been going on. Yeah, that has been going on, for centuries,
right?
and it's not, to be pushed to the back,
Hmm.
of things. And this stuff just compounded and compacted, it's horrible for the world and just in general. But America, needs to um, start acknowledging and really apologizing and really just trying to put the focus on where the focus is needed so that we can move forward into a healthy future.
Right, exactly. And
Yeah.
yeah, this was a few weeks ago, but unfortunately, again, we had another incident a few days ago in Colorado. There was a mass shooting at a grocery store. I think I'm looking at the picture now. It says King Supers, and the interesting thing is this was done by a 21-year-old as well. The dude that did the Asian shooting, he was 21, and this guy, his name's Ahmad Al Aliwi Alissa. He's also 21, which is crazy because he looks way older than me, and I'm 26. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, another shooting. I don't know if it was racially motivated or if this is just you know a mental thing or what, but it was
Well,
another.
they're pushing towards him being mentally, you
Yeah,
know, um, not disabled. What's the word? Just
insane.
state of mind. Yeah,
Yeah,
insane.
which I don't find as an excuse.
Hmm.
You know, what I mean, a reason, but not an excuse for. You still have to be held accountable for your actions, and
Yes.
there's lives lost. There was a police officer killed and 9 others killed, in Colorado. So once again, condolences to the family. It's just nuts that you can't even do regular everyday activity without something crazy happening.
Yeah, go to the supermarket without looking over your shoulder, wondering, okay, everybody just seems suspect now, and that's a horrible. No more just running out. Okay, I'm running out to the supermarket. I'm gonna go pick up some eggs and some milk. I'll
Hmm.
be right back. You know.
Yeah.
So yes, that's a horrible thing for those families to have to go through to know that their loved ones, simply was just running an errand, taking care of business, for their families.
Hmm.
One guy, I think he was some kind of contractor there. He was, I don't know, installing an installation of something at the supermarket, and was walking out and sitting in his car and got shot, while he was sitting in the car.
He passed.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. Just
So just
uh,
the inside stories.
right, yeah. It's extremely unfortunate. It's life's already fragile enough to just have these people out here that are doing these senseless murders. You know what I mean? There was
Right.
a I think this happened out here, or maybe I'm wrong, but a surfer. She was training for the Olympics or something. Goes out into the water, gets struck by lightning, dies. You know,
Mm,
there's someone that's playing in the March Madness. He was out with his sisters and his girl or something like that. They crashed and died.
mm,
So natural things like that can happen. Something as random as a lightning strike could kill you. Um, Car accidents are probably the most common way that people pass unexpectedly. But then we got
mm.
things like this happening on top of that. So it's just it's just sad. Life is just so fragile, and things like this happen is it gets you scared. It makes you want to stay inside.
Yeah.
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 So
Very unfortunate. So,
mhm.
and that's why it's so important. I last week's segment about just relationships and families. Just we got to do better with our relationships and in our family structures, because life is so fragile. It's not promised to us. You can be here. We can be here right now, in this
Mhm.
minute, in this hour. The next hour is not promised to us.
Yeah, that's true.
The next hour is not promised to us, and that's why we got to practice. You know, I don't get off the phone with any of you, any of my children, and not say, I love you.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's something that I hold dear to me. I love saying it. I love hearing it,
Yeah.
and it's because I do. I love you guys, and I want you guys to know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I practice that
yeah.
too. Every time I even talk to any of my siblings, my dad, I say I love you at the end. They say it too. Even
Hmm.
I think of course cousin Beatty. I think he randomly like butt dialed me one day, and we just had like a quick conversation, just catching up. I told him I love him at the end. Just
Cousin.
cousin Beatty.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Mike.
yeah,
Mike.
yeah. Mike, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah. He like butt dialed me one day, so we just
Hmm.
caught up. Had like a little 2 minute conversation. But even then, I told him I love him at the end, because God
Right.
forbid something would happen to him the next day, or even me. You know.
Right. Right.
So,
And and I have to tell you, like, when you don't know it as practice, but other people find it hard. Even myself growing up, I found it hard to say that. And I realized that it was something that I needed to say over and over until it became just normal and natural. So
right.
sometimes, people can say, well, my mom or my dad, never told me that, they love me. Okay, that's fine, right? That happened, but you practice it. Because if it's something that you're not accustomed to hearing, and doing and saying, then it's just going to be, the next generation is just going to say the same thing. So
Right.
just say it. Just make sure you tell your loved ones, I love you.
Hmm.
It's simple. 3 words. I love you.
That's it. Simple as that. And it's funny that you bring up relationships, because it seems going on in the news and social media that it's breakup season. The holidays are
Mm,
over. We had Thanksgiving, we had Christmas, we didn't had Valentine's Day, New Year's, took the cute pictures and for social
yeah.
media, everyone's in love and bliss. But then boom, March comes, and we got breakups. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Sweetie and Quavo. We got Gary Owen and his wife. We got Derek Jackson and his wife. We got me and nobody. So
I can't. Okay.
So yeah, it's breakup season. Are you familiar with this couple right here?
Let me put my glasses on because
Yeah.
I'm on my phone.
Hmm.
I can't no. Make me know who they are because I can't see them
It, it's it's
really.
it's it's fine. This is Quavo and Sweetie. Sweetie is a rapper. And might I just add, she's the best rapper I've ever seen. Not heard,
Okay.
but
Okay.
seen. And
Mm-hmm.
her boyfriend Quavo is a rapper as well. So
That you've ever not
ever seen,
heard.
ever seen, not heard, not heard, but seen. I've heard some pretty
What
good
happened?
rappers, but seen, yeah. They
Okay.
they broke they broke up just recently. They were like a power couple, and at first it seemed like it was like a publicity stunt, but then
Mm-hmm.
it seemed like they were like generally like in a happy relationship. But then I guess he cheated, and then she did an interview with her ex-boyfriend, and it was a whole thing. So this is what's going on in my generation. This is like the big breakup that just happened. So
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
just to fill you in on that. I don't think
Do they
you
have
have.
children together?
Oh no, thank
They have
God.
children. Okay. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, thank God.
And they look young. They look young. So
Yeah, they're I think Quavo's probably like maybe like 28, close to 30, and Sweetie's probably my age, maybe.
yeah,
So
they're babies. They're young.
yeah. They don't need to be having kids together and not and whatnot. So go their
Well,
separate ways and yeah, give me a chance. Anyway, Gary Owen, are you familiar with him?
I can't even see that picture. So who was that?
Gary
The
Owen,
name?
the name doesn't do nothing. Gary Owen is a white comedian who has got popularity probably throughout his whole career with the black community. He like that's his audience. So
Okay.
I'm sure you've definitely probably seen him before, even though you can't see this picture.
Mhm.
Yeah, but he was married to a black woman for like for like 25 years, something like that. They got kids together and whatnot, but um apparently they called it quits. She filed for divorce. Um, are you familiar with Claudia Jordan?
Name doesn't
Yeah,
do nothing.
I like apparently she's been around the industry for a while. I don't know like in what capacity, if she was someone's girlfriend or an act. I don't really know. I just heard the name keeps popping up in mess, and it popped up in mess again. So I guess it's alleged that he cheated on his wife with her. From what
Huh?
I gather, this is just a breakup storm that was hitting me back to back to back that I thought I'd include. So yeah,
Mhm.
they seem to be done as well. But the big story of this week, Eric Jackson, his wife. Do you know who this guy is?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Not the name.
yeah,
And I can't see the picture. So
yeah. Have you ever seen a buff dark skinned man, and it's usually a side by side of him
that
singing,
got my
huh?
of him what? Of him singing or
Him
sinning?
sitting in the car just like you are, and it's a side,
Okay.
yeah, and it's a side by side of a video of just something going on, and he's giving his
Mhm.
opinion on it. But while he's watching it, he's doing all these faces.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's him. That's what he does. So basically, what he's doing is he's been pandering to women, um, basically like for like the last 5 years. I've been like familiar with him and seen some of his videos, and I always knew he was a fraud, but he was just pandering to women, telling what they want to hear, condemning men for just breathing, basically. Like
Hmm.
a man could be like, "Yeah, I think women should give Valentine's Day gifts as well," and he'd be on the camera. Listen here, her presence is a gift to you every day, so men don't need nothing. Yeah, like he's one of those guys. You know what I mean? So yeah, the big story with him is that he hasn't been practicing what he preaches because he got caught cheating. Some woman,
Okay.
some woman online exposed him. Not even, I don't even think the woman he was messing, like the woman that he was cheating with. I think it was someone that knew about it that like exposed it, and like all the receipts and stuff came out, and he was under fire. And at first, oh my gosh, this dude is something else, man. At first, he
Mhm.
was like, "Yes, I had a sexual relationship with this woman, but we did not have sex."
Oh wow. Okay.
That is what this man said. And then,
Right.
as the stuff just start piling on, eventually he admitted to cheating on his wife and sleeping with other women. And this is his wife that's sitting beside him. They did a video basically explaining what happened. And this is the first time. For one, I didn't even know I didn't really pay attention to him like that, but I didn't know he was married. And let alone I never this is the first time anyone has seen his wife.
Oh.
Yeah. So they did a video, and holding hands and saying she still supports him, and it was a whole thing. Now she's doing videos defending, like, it was a whole just social media fiasco. I guess they were just I've been knew he was a fraud. It's just written all over his face. They were just savoring the moment. It was a whole week of them just defending themselves or saying something. Now girls are making fun of the wife, saying she's stupid, and that she should have been on camera looking like this with the bonnet and the glasses. They should have did her up.
Oh, that's a bonnet.
It's a bonnet. Yeah, she's wearing glasses.
Oh,
Yeah, she's just looked like her husband just forced her to be on camera to support him, to save face for the public. So
see, I thought from here it just looks like she's, that's her hair. And
yeah,
she's got
no,
some glasses on. That's
no,
a bonnet.
it's not. I have no idea what her hair looks like. Every time I see her, she's wearing some type of hat. So yeah, well, seems like you're not
Mm,
familiar with any of these people that's
listen,
on here, but
probably if I saw faces, I would probably know who they were.
yeah,
But um, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't.
it's all right. Maybe when we watch it back, you're like, oh yeah, no, I know that guy or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of sad
Mhm.
situation because he's definitely a narcissist, and it seems like she's been controlled or conditioned to the whole Christian thing of standing by your man and da 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 da. He's really
Mhm.
a strong hold
That's
on her, so I kind of
that's
feel
worse.
bad.
That probably keep talking. The word has an enabler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's probably just kind of like um supported him through things that she probably shouldn't have or wasn't aware that she was even supporting him through.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that happens.
Yep. So
That's comes sometimes with losing yourself. With and placing importance on everything else except for yourself. Not being sometimes it's you have to be selfish. You know, to take care of yourself.
yeah, that's definitely what I'm learning because until the foreseeable future, it's just gonna be me and this lovely lady sitting next to me. Just
Well, I've already prayed for whoever that lovely young lady is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So she's out there.
She's out there,
She
yeah.
has, yeah, she has my grandchildren, and so
Yeah, but for right now, it's me and nobody.
whoever you are, I'll pray for you even before James was born.
Yep. So
So generations, and all that stuff. So yeah, don't worry
yeah,
about it. It'll be all
yeah, you'll be in good hands.
right. Yes, she will.
Yes. So with all that out the way, we've got another. I guess I don't know. A bunch of unnecessariness has been going on, and I feel like this movie was something that I really really asked for, but we've got it anyway. I think it was eventually coming with all just the sequels and reboots and whatnot that's coming on, but
Hmm.
coming to America 2, or just
Okay.
coming to America.
The number
The number it's
two.
you see what they did there, yeah. Two.
Yeah.
Yep. So this came out probably a few weeks ago, and I just saw most of it. I got like 30 minutes left, but I want to hear your opinion because I know you were alive
No,
when
I want
the first movie came
to hear
out.
I want to hear your opinion first.
Okay.
What do you
Um, I thought it was a bit unnecessary. I know, like,
think?
I knew that like they wanted a sequel and all that, but like this, I think the original movie came out in like '88 or something, or '87, and
Mm-hmm.
for a sequel to be made within the same like heart and vein of the first movie, I think it should have been made. If they were going to do a sequel, it should have happened like 5 years, you know what I mean, at most after it.
James, I have to stop you. I thought I that movie was good. And this is why. Okay, so number one, I think it well, so Eddie Murphy has always been this person who was this bigger than life personality, in his mind. And, I think about his first sit down comedy. I can't think of the name of it. I'm sure you guys know the
The
name of it.
delirious,
What was it?
delirious,
Was it Delirious? Yep.
yeah,
So, and then, he wear these tight, you know, really,
tight Michael
leather.
Jackson pants, yeah, the leather,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. And,
Mhm.
he was all right.
Hilarious. No, I
He was all
see.
right.
You was all
No,
right.
he was considered, fine, good looking.
Oh, you talking about that?
But
Yeah, yeah. He's all right.
anyway, so just trying to just build him up. So he came out with this Coming to America, and that was good. That was a good, movie. But
Yeah.
it still depicted him. Every movie he's just about being in. He's this suave, debonair, type, thing,
Hmm.
man. So anyway, I think what I loved about this movie, I thought it was funny. And what I loved about it is that he made relevant some people who had, been stars but have not been showcased lately.
Hmm.
So that in turn is going to give them some revenue, some you know, um for the future. I thought I loved Wesley Snipes' role
Yeah, he's
as
always good.
as general, like if Wesley Snipes had done anything in a while, he's got, I guess, some issues with, tax evasion or whatever.
Hmm.
So you haven't seen him for a little bit. I think he did an excellent job. I love how he showed, just still showcased James Amos.
Uh, uh,
You know,
John is John Amos, right?
John
Yeah,
John
John.
Amos. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's him. You know, just bringing him back, making him relevant. Like he probably hasn't done anything since the first one. Um, not nothing too
But nothing.
much.
Okay, major. Yeah, I got you. I'm with you.
Nothing major.
Hmm.
Vanessa Bell Calloway. I think it was
She still looks great.
hilarious.
Yeah.
She looks great. She coming there with that outfit. I'm talking about.
Right, yeah.
I thought that was just hilarious. I thought, and you know how he kind of cameoed from the first movie, into the second one. I
that
just
was
thought
the
it just
uh,
all
that was the best part of the movie from what I've seen. I really like how they did
all
that.
blended together. And it was just what did she say? She was and Leslie Jones. Of
Hmm.
course, she's funny. So he added a lot of new. It was nice to see In Vogue. It was nice to see Gladys Knight. It was just. I thought the movie was absolutely great. So I recommend that people go see this. I mean, or buy it, stream it, however you get it. I did it on Prime. I didn't
Yeah,
realize
it's
I
it's
had
on
Prime for all this
it's on Prime. Yeah, so that's like I think that's
time.
probably the only way to watch it.
Yeah, and it's this the son Jamie Fowler. Is he
Jermaine
new?
Fowler.
Jermaine Fowler, is he new? I haven't seen him.
He's up and coming. Like this a few things I've seen him in before, but he's like he's
Right.
on the rise.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
I was, and then I listen. I was a little tipsy while I was watching it, so
yeah.
I thought it was so funny when Leslie and Lisa, well her name was Mary, and Mary and Lisa, and they were like, they both were queens.
Mm-hmm.
So it just showed them like hooking up again. Like she was just this uppity, like we say, uppity bitch. Say what? And she was like, what? Said you
Yeah.
gotta see. But they connected, and the best part to me, let's say this best part for last. I thought it was like a black girl rock type inspirational movie.
Okay.
Of how, because his oldest daughter was a female, and she was not, it was the laws that she could never, be the queen. It had to be a king. And so I liked it too because it showed that girl power.
Yeah.
So now, what do you have to say about the movie now?
Um, I feel as though the reason that you like the movie
Hmm.
is the reason why I dislike it. Not to say that like he brought back a lot of the old people from the original movie, and we're seeing
Hmm.
Wesley Snipes again in movies. He was they actually worked together because Eddie Murphy played Dolomite. Like I think they did like a biopic slash comedy film with
Hmm.
Dolomite, and Wesley Snipes is in that too. So I guess they're like a tandem kind of, you know what I mean, working together
Right.
in different doing different movies. But yes,
Hmm.
it's good to see Wesley Snipes.
And Arsenio Hall, he's not doing much.
Right, yeah, at Arsenio Hall. That whole scene where they like had the flashback and they used the technology to de-age them back into that
Right.
time. That was pretty
Right.
cool. I did like that. Um,
Right.
seeing John Amos and all the just all the older people and then people that you didn't see, but it didn't come off as like the whole the salt and pepper and Vogue and
Oh yeah,
all
salt
this.
and
Like,
pepper. Yep.
it,
I
it
like seeing them too.
it was good to see him, but at the same time, it was just more like a blatant, obvious cameo. It wasn't like like okay, I see what you're doing. They didn't really like marry it like subtly into the film. I like
I think
subtle.
that
I like subtlety. That's that's just me. I like subtlety. I could just
I
I see what
did.
they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So and then too, I just think that the new film lacks the heart of the first film. The first film, and that's the problem with sequels that are done just years and years later. The same heart and intent behind making it is gone. We're just trying to. I hate to say it, but like a cash grab. People are going to watch Coming to America too, obviously, and we're going to put these cameos in there, and we're going to put these new people from this generation and all that, and it's fun, it's cool, but it doesn't make it. It makes it fun to watch, but it doesn't make a good movie in my opinion. So I watched it and I'm just like, okay, all right, I see that cameo. I know that person. I see why they put him in there. I get it. But it wasn't like seeing like, wow, this is Eddie Murphy as a prince. He's really in like, and just the hilarity of him being a African prince and how he's being treated in New York. And in the original movie, they were at a bunch of different places. Like they're at the barber shop and they went to the basketball game. And then now they're at
Hmm.
McDowell's. Now they're at the house. Now they're in the apartments. It was just a bunch of different set pieces. We got to see New York and the vibe and the
Hmm.
grittiness and the reality of him going from royalty to being a bum in New York. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So I
Well,
didn't really I didn't really get that feel, this movie.
so think about, probably what so you probably had to pay more, you think about in terms of their budget or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, him having to pay, these, even though Wesley Snipes is an older star, and Vogue and all those people.
Hmm.
Um, just the budgeting of trying to really, I thought he did a great job because if you kind of like if you watch the second one without watching the first one, you'd totally be lost and you wouldn't know what was going on.
Hmm.
So because you knew what the first one was and how you can just segue into it, we're gonna agree to disagree about
Yeah, I
it
can.
to me.
Hmm.
And another point I just want to point out is that where he paid homage to his mother from the first movie. You know, they when it first came on, it just showed like family pictures and things like that. And I thought that Patricia, I think her name was Patricia in the first movie, the sister to Lisa,
Mm-hmm.
like they only just showed her picture, and I would have thought that the sister would have mentioned Lisa would have mentioned her sister Patricia. I don't. I want. I think her name was Patricia. You know who I'm
Um,
talking about?
yeah, yeah,
Lisa
yeah,
had a
yeah,
sister.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
Right,
wonder where she is, if she passed away or
right.
just didn't want to do the move. But I thought it would have been cute for Arsenio Hall to kind of like have another contact with her or whatever, because she really you know
Yeah,
she
yeah,
settled for Arsenio Hall, or when she really wanted Eddie Murphy or Akeem or
yeah. It was. I feel like it was just so much more dynamics to that made Coming to America, the original movie, just special and unique and something that hasn't been done before. And
yeah.
this was more so a big budget spectacle, which is fine.
Don't say that.
It is, mom, and that's fine though. You were alive when the first movie came out, and seeing it all these years later, and all the familiar stars and Vogue and all
Later,
that. It's fun.
yes,
It's fun, and
yes.
I'm not knocking you for even enjoying it, but just me
They should have
personally,
threw some new. If they would have threw some new addition in there and just been all over the place like
right? That's
that. Okay.
fun, but it doesn't necessarily make it a good movie. Something that let's
Yeah,
watch this again
for
for
you,
me,
for you.
for
Yeah,
me.
that's just your generation,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I think it's just totally, people who are my age. Should we find out what generation I am?
No,
We never
we'll
did
go back to the drawing board. I think
that. Yeah.
I heard the silent generation. I heard someone say that. I'm not sure if that's before baby boomers or after, or I don't know, but we'll figure
Yeah.
out
Well,
which
we
one.
know
Don't worry.
I'm definitely after. I'm not a baby boomer. I'm after the baby boomers. I am
Yeah,
a child of a baby
of the baby
boomer.
boomers. Yes,
Yeah. So whatever generation that is, but yeah, that movie was totally for my generation.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's like it was a horrible
I can't wait to
experience.
watch it again.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I could sit through it. Like it wasn't like unbearable, but it's not something I'd still got 30 minutes left to watch the movie, but it's not
Hmm.
I don't see myself watching it again. Like I would sit and watch Coming to America again. Like anytime it comes
Hmm.
on, I'll pay attention. But this, if they decided not to make this, I would have been fine. But I understand you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all
Yeah.
right. That is how mother and son agree to disagree. And
Yeah. Still got good vibes.
still got good vibes. I think I think that's what the goal was set, and we met it. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
got the horrible tragedies out the way. We talked about heartbreak, and you talked about the excitement of the movie, and I talked about the heartbreak of the movie. I'm messing. I'm messing. I'm messing. The movie
Yeah.
wasn't that bad. If you want to see it, see it. I won't watch it again, but
I strongly recommend you watch it.
mhm.
I do. I loved it. Good job, Eddie Murphy. I really, you know, that was.
So,
I might even listen to "My Girl Wants to Party All the Time." Party. You don't know nothing about that.
yeah, I
You remember
know
that?
about that, mom.
You know about that? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
him and
just
Rick
saying.
James. Yeah, yeah. See,
Yes.
I'm one of the people of the generation that knows, a bit. I'm not out of touch of what happened before me. You know what I mean? I'm pretty
Yeah.
knowledgeable. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, we're gonna close the show. I'm gonna let you get back to your wine and your crabs in Maryland, and I'm gonna get back to adulting in this studio in Hawthorne. So yeah,
Okay.
two different lives, but we come together every week and have a good time. If you're listening for the first time, thank you for tuning in. If you're coming back, welcome home. Welcome to the family. We're all family. This is a family show. You
Yeah.
can
Yep.
listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and you can watch us on YouTube. And we also put the episode out to watch on Facebook as well on our Facebook page. So follow us or like us, Bonding with Mater and Sater on Facebook. and follow us on Mater X Sater on Instagram. You know, it's gonna be at the end of the title or whatever. But yeah,
Mhm.
until next week, guys. Next Sunday, toodles.
Toodles. Bye,
All right,
son.
bye, bye.
All
Enjoy.
right. I love.
I love you too. Enjoy your time in Maryland. Tell Cayman
I,
and
I,
Dom and everybody I said hi.
okay, I will definitely.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.